What's going on? All right, hold on. Is my mic a little bit too high? But the mic is... I apologize, guys, about my tardiness, man. I can never seem to get it together. But we do have both my shaved face and also a new overlay. Ba-boom. Right there. See that? Your boy made it himself, okay? The best in the business. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it's both the same. All right. Welcome to the stream. Let's go. I'm hyped, man. Today there was not much to talk about. We could talk about a little bit of a creator clash controversy, if you all so desire. But I know you guys have certain things that you wanted me to talk about. I did do a full Kingpyn breakdown. So the entire men and women's bracket in its entirety, it's going to be the next iteration in my series called the Tactical Breakdown. I think that's going to be a really fun one. It was tough to find stuff on the women outside of a few notable athletes that had competed before. So I had to stretch my creativity and really dig to find really pertinent information. Pertinent information. Wait for a couple people to kind of like trickle in here. My arm is killing me. Dude, that injury I got in training has just been taking me out, bro. Taking me out. The chat up on my phone. I'm assuming that one person in here is Unpoppable Balloons. I could be wrong. Sound off if that is your name. Roll call in the chat. We did have some things we could talk about. I haven't really looked into, just because the new thing I've been doing for the channel, the new schedule I've been following, is record every single video I have for the week on a Monday, right? So it's usually going to be, I think from now on, it's going to be 3 videos. And I'm going to release them Tuesdays, then it's Thursdays, then it's Saturdays. So each and every day, or every other day, excuse me. And that's better because I don't want to put out a video my hair is also all messed up. Jesus Christ, man. I also don't want to put out a video every single day. I feel like that kind of takes away some from the actual content, or from how much people would appreciate my content, right? Don't want to have you guys spoiled. I want you guys to kind of wait a little bit, for the stuff that I do. So for this week, tomorrow at 8 a.m., I already made the video. It's set to come out. We have my breakdown. It's interesting. There's this new fight that got announced on Instagram. I'm not sure if it's legit. We can maybe go over it in a little bit more detail on the stream here. I'm like 90% sure it's not legit, but it's supposedly Simple Simon versus Francis Ngannou at Misfits 07, which would be crazy. So maybe we can we'll start off the stream just looking into that real quick. Then we can get into the creator clash controversy. Not quite sure what happened there, but I can review it on stream. Let's see. Francis Ngannou. Shout out to DC for that hilarious clip. Versus Simple Simon. Yeah, Simple Simon. Sky Sports Boxing. Yeah, so a couple of people have picked it up at this point. Oh, whoa. Keep that camera right there. Sorry about that, guys. Still good, still on frame. Some people have been talking about it. Simple Simon versus Francis Ngannou. I can't make this up. Give me a second. So this is apparently what's going on now. Francis Ngannou versus Simple Simon. And this picture... And I don't want to give too much away because I talk about it. And I thought the video I just made was a banger video. But apparently these two guys are going to be fighting. Clash of Titans. I don't know. How tall is Simple Simon? We got to see Simple Simon box rec. I want to see his height, his reach. Because from what I've seen, he doesn't have a lot of skill, unfortunately. He's Trinidad. No, what? No. This is not Simple Simon. YouTube box rec. Oh, so they have a YouTube box rec. This is more like it. He has one loss by KO. That's to Ed Matthews. That was earlier on in Kingpins. I reviewed that in the video. But I want to see how... He's only 5'9", and he's a light heavyweight. So he's a chonky guy. 5'9" at wow, actually, wait, that just sat with me for a second. 5'9" at light heavyweight is crazy. That's ridiculous. 5'9" at light heavyweight. So I'm going to be doing a video on this tomorrow. Or no, it's going to be coming out tomorrow, excuse me. My brain is all fried here, folks. I apologize. You know why? It's because I'm staying up late, putting it all on the line for you guys to give you guys content. The 2 people watching this. I'd do anything. No, I do love it. But I am extremely tired as of late. But this guy, apparently, going up against Francis Ngannou, who would have thought? I'm going to save again. I want to talk about it more in the video, in depth. I go into some of his fights. I go into some of Francis Ngannou's highlights and highlight why I don't think this makes a lot of sense. You know? Simple Simon versus Ed Matthews. Both TikTok guys. I think Simple Simon is a TikTok guy. I don't want to watch this fight. I'm trying to remember what I covered in the video and what I can do here. But very interesting. Let me get your guys' thoughts about that in the comments or in the chat. I think it's BS, but like, that's the other thing, dude. It's not even April 1st yet. I could see if this was released on April 1st, how that would kind of be it's a cool thing where it's like, okay, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's funny. You know, that would actually be almost a smart marketing play for Misfits. And I suspect they probably will do stuff like that in the future. Is there too much light coming in from the back? But interesting stuff. Ed Matthews versus Simple Simon. Yeah, he's won one fight via KO and lost one via KO. We could actually, you know what? Let's check out the other Misfits. So Misfits 07. Whoa, not 087. So obviously KSI fighting Joe Fournier that night. So a lot is up in the air. Gideon officially is no way. Fox the G. All right, well, I want to see Misfits card. Do we know anything yet about Misfits? There is too much light going on in the background. Let me go just fix that real quick. That is better. Sorry about that, guys. All right, we're back. Sorry about the 2 people, or sorry to the 2 people watching right now. I just had to clean up the background. How's that looking? Better? Better. Much better. Okay. All right, so we're trying to figure out who's on Misfits 07. Obviously, KSI is fighting Joe Fournier. But besides that, we don't really know. We know it's on May 13th. And this comes off the back of a weird announcement saying that Francis Ngannou might be fighting Simple Simon, amongst others. I saw whatchamacallit, promotional poster that said that I think it was Deji was fighting Swarms, which would be, again, I don't think that makes a lot of sense, that matchup. But that's just me. What else? What else? Yeah, I mean, and when these when these types of things exist, it's like, all right, oh, obviously you have to take everything with a grain of salt. That's the problem. There's a lot of really good, I guess, graphic design artists that enjoy YouTube boxing, so you get a lot of really lifelike type of promotional posters like that. We heard about a little bit about Jadion. He might be fighting then. Oh, 3, that's a past event. Deji reportedly on Punch Plan. Shout out to Punch Plan, dude. Shout out to Social KO, Punch Plan, all those guys. When I tell you it makes it so much easier getting stuff for videos and finding out information, those two dudes are goats. Yes, we don't really know much about 007. I think it is going to be one of those things where, because if you have KSI fighting on it, you want to put your best foot forward. So they'll probably get some pretty legit talent. I don't know if Jadion can box all that well. Got to be honest. And I'm not sure if I want to try to test or tempt the YouTube gods again, because we had the second to last stream get nuked. Because I was watching something copyrighted, apparently. But then we got that overturned. But still, not a good look. What do you guys think about the two people in chat right now? What do you guys think about, how do you think Fournier's going to do? You guys are awfully quiet today. I'm not sure if it's the same two dudes, but what are we thinking? Actually, you know what? We could review some of the KSI sparring footage. KSI releases sparring footage ahead of Joe Fournier fight, and Jake Paul will have a field day. What's this? We'll have a field day if he loses. As he should. JJ was kind of Fortnite taunting him over his grave when he lost. So it's only fair. A lot of this stuff, just really good posturing from both men, you know. It's a game of kind of like between them. I'm talking about between KSI and Jake. When the other makes a misstep or loses or whatever it is, it's they don't think about it like there's any real vitriol there. I bet they think about it like, all right, well, this is a chance for me to get one up on him. You know what I mean? This is a chance for me to kind of get even. This is a chance for me to, it's all leverage. That's what I'm trying to say, is it goes back and forth. And you're not really going to find, I feel like if they saw each other and the cameras are off, I don't think they're actually, going to really fight or anything like that. It's opportunities. Joe Fournier mocked KSI's new sparring footage. What did Joe Fournier say about this? Joe Fournier. I can't do anything through. That is crazy. Can't show that. That's nuts. Jesus. That might just get us taken down anyways. What did Joe Fournier say? Why is Twitter such a absolute Wild West wasteland? Let's see what Joe Fournier is talking about. Maybe he mocked it here. There he is looking. He's in Tulum and he says, about last night. This is the man that's going to dethrone KSI. There he is with Jake Paul. Of course. See, again, this is what I'm talking about. Not only for KSI and Jake, but for the guys that are facing up with KSI, it looks cool to be like, chilling out with Jake and picking a side. It's all mind games. Joe Fournier connected. KSI going to slump you. I agree. What do you guys think? I'm not able to find what he said about KSI sparring footage. KSI scared for Joe Fournier. So KSI released that sparring footage with Idris Virgo. Prefers fighting Joe Fournier over Tyron Woodley. Obviously. Hold on. Joe Fournier. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Fournier. Oh my God, I can't type. Sparring. See if we can find any footage that's not on YouTube of this man sparring. All right, I'm going to just try it. Shout out to Punch Plan.
Joe Fournier has mocked KSI's new sparring footage. After we saw some new footage of KSI sparring against Idris Virgo in this clip.
Let's go. See what's around. Let's go.
Shout out to Punch Plan. Thank you for letting me use this, bro. And this is the sparring footage that we reviewed in the last video. Good stuff by Virgo. Being very physical. But good stuff by KSI too. But you could hear, that was like the, you know, that's something I didn't cover in the video. That's all those body shots just sucking the wind out of JJ.
Put it in, let's go.
Joe Fournier then captioned this.
I believe this footage is fake and has been made so I don't train at all. I don't know why. Why would that be fake? How would that be faked? Why would that be faked? Clearly, Joe Fournier not the best at talking trash. This is another one from Punch Plan. Says he dropped his opponent. We got to go for it. I'm just going to risk it.
Joe Fournier has recently posted some new footage of him dropping a sparring partner.
Fighting a longer and taller man. Definitely looking a little bit more agile than when I last saw him train. Holy, okay, wait a second. Hold on, because this is a different Joe Fournier than the Joe Fournier I reviewed originally. Gets backed up. And first off, he was using the jab really well. I want to just watch this back. Camera zooms in. See that triple jab? So clean. Steps in nicely. And his opponent's using the jab well as well, just kind of pressuring him in. So he has an uppercut. I'm going to play this in slow motion. Okay. I'm going to play this from the top in slow motion. Playback speed, normal. 05. So his opponent pushes in, and he times it up with the jab. Nice shift into the uppercut. Boom. Hook. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous. First day sparring. First day back sparring and rendering real boxers. That's crazy. Guys, just give me a moment. I have to take this. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I mean, this is a much more fast kind of Joe Fournier than we're used to, I think. Also, check out the head movement, because he was expecting a follow-up. It's a nice catch I just had. Boom. And that means he's got power. Was he just sandbagging with his other training footage? That's crazy. That is wild. All right, let me get off of this before YouTube. Wow. See, you know what that means, though? That means that the Joe Fournier we're accustomed to, that we're used to, and that we've seen, because I remember when I did that Joe Fournier, I can't remember how long ago it was, but I did when it was first kind of rumored, or I could actually check now. I put out a video when it was first rumored that he'd be fighting KSI. And I just, in the lead up to that video, I did a bunch of, obviously, analysis on him. And, bro, this was not how fast he was. He looked slow in that sparring footage. He's old as well. I mean, I think he's like 40-something, maybe? I could check in a second, too. But when did I... Hi, who do you think will win? KSI versus Jake Paul, Sal Poppy versus Slim Bivol versus Betriev. Wow, that's a lot of names. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. I'll get to all of your questions in a moment. That's a pretty loaded question, but I will answer it. Thanks for tuning in, Rich. Where did I just want to see when I put out this video first. That was all the way back in February 4th. Okay. Real quick, we'll just go over. So I want to answer this question. Hi, who do you think will win KSI versus Jake Paul? I'd say I don't see with KSI's most recent and Jake Paul's most recent performances in mind. That's a tough one to call. I think both guys seem to be kind of on the same level of technique. Both kind of get a little bit wild. I think JJ has his technicality reined in a little bit more. So I might lean JJ, but I could easily see Jake Paul getting that. That's a tough, I might have to do it. Maybe I'll do a video on that. That would probably do well. You know, people want to hear about that stuff. Poppy versus Slim. I think Salt Poppy is a little bit too smart for Slim. I think Slim would probably just come in. I remember the no, it wasn't the Josh Buechner fight. It was he's fighting in the Kingpyn tournament coming up. It was Tom Zanetti, where Slim and Tom just kind of traded in the middle of the ring and got way too wild. I think if he plays that game with Salt Poppy, he could be toast. Absolutely toast. Bivol versus Betria. I don't see. That's the thing. In like mainstream boxing, I am a little bit of a casual. I have to become a little bit more kind of accustomed. I know the way Bivol fights. He's very physical, and that's kind of how he won against Canelo. He's also like his frame is a little bit bigger than Canelo's, but he's good at pushing a pace. He's got fantastic volume, really good accuracy. He's a scary dude. But I'd have to check out his opponent to give you a better answer. Maybe we could do that later on in the stream. Usyk versus Fury. It's sad that fight is no longer, it seems like, happening. But you'd be a fool to go against, even though Usyk is really, really technical, really skilled, and he did show in the last, because him and AJ rematched, correct? They fought twice? Usyk versus Joshua. Yeah, they fought twice. And he looked better in the second fight. He's got that nice mixture of that kind of killer mentality, but also that physicality, that skill. He's almost like a Bivol. And it's weird because he's undersized, I feel like, for the heavyweight division. But he was fighting down a cruiserweight, if I'm correct. Again, my knowledge on mainstream boxing, I'm much more well-versed in MMA, but I like I'm the casual fan fights. So like Garcia versus Tank, Fury versus, but I think in Usyk and Fury, I do think Fury would be a little bit too much for him. I couldn't go against Fury. I've seen him overcome insurmountable odds before, and he is a freak of nature when it comes to the talent department. I mean, he moves like a middleweight when he's at, what is it, like 265, something crazy like that, you know? And he's got such good technical boxing. He's so good defensively. But it's Usyk we're talking about. So that's another tough one. You came strapped with the tough questions for this one. Joshua versus Wilder. I think Wilder could win that. I don't know. Joshua definitely doesn't have momentum on his side. His last couple fights, I don't think he's really fought that smart. And Deontay Wilder, I mean, everyone knows, no secret, that if he were to work on his boxing a little bit more, and I say that obviously he's a boxer, but you know, his thing is like, all right, well, I've got insane, and he does, like, he might have some of the most power that the boxing world has ever seen, like right up there with Mike Tyson. He knows he has that, so he can kind of bank on that, for lack of a better term. I thought in the who did he fight last? I'm sorry, guys, I'm so like all over the place. I'm also hopped up on Ghost. But who did he fight last? It was Helenius? Robert Helenius, right? Wilder versus Helenius? Yes. Where he just like moving backwards. I thought he looked a little bit more technical in that fight. So if he could rein in his technicality, I don't see any reason why Wilder couldn't get that. But if Joshua returns to his old ways, that's a scary Joshua. That's like an Anthony Joshua that also has power, that can walk guys down, that But at current, I'd probably have to go Wilder. Crawford versus Spence. Again, I know both those guys. I've watched a lot of Errol Spence's fights, but I don't remember enough about either of those gentlemen to give you a clear enough picture. Garcia versus Tank, that's going to be an interesting one. I think Garcia has the speed to be able to do it, but Tank, I've noticed guys, and it seems to be a very big theme in a lot of Tank's fights where he's getting outboxed for the first half of the fight, and then he catches the guy, and then it just goes downhill from there. So you have to be perfect for the entirety of a fight, I think, with Garcia. With Tank. But Garcia can do it for sure. If I was to bet on that fight, I'd probably go Tank. But Garcia certainly has speed. He has ridiculous power for a guy that has so much speed. That should be an interesting one. What do you think is killing the sport of boxing? My opponent is your opinion. Oh, you probably meant your opinion. Is drug cheats, judges, decisions and errors, backhand, money, promotions, boxing, Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Rich. It's can I call you Rich? You're in my chat, so I feel like I can call you a close friend type of name, your nickname, as I'm sure many close friends call you, Rich. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's unfortunate. It's one of the things that UFC, and even I've talked about this before, influencer boxing does really well, where you get the matchups that, well, see, I don't know, because in the early goings of influencer boxing, it seems like you obviously have that component where the guys are already influencers, so they bring their own crowds. But you can't, it's kind of a similar thing to boxing where you can't really match up that's the reason Garcia and Davis took a while to make. It's just because contract negotiations, all that different type of stuff, and people not wanting to fight here but there. But then you also find similarities to that with KSI and Jake, where it's like, I remember the Twitter live room that they did. Let me actually center on the camera a little bit. So, there we go. But I remember there was a lot of talk about that where KSI said, oh yeah, if you fight me for free. And then Jake said, oh yeah, I will fight you for free. Just sign up, do the thing, blah, blah, blah. So the same stuff happens in influencer boxing, but I think what influencer boxing does better than regular boxing, and to your point about everything that kind of holds the sport of boxing back, is there's just a little bit more personality. I think that's the other thing that kind of plagues regular boxing, is there's so many guys that can fight really well, but don't have the personality. And you have guys that have the personality, so it's just, it goes back and forth. It fluctuates. But you know what? I'll make a video. I know I want to go live for Garcia versus Tank, but for Bivol versus Betriev and Crawford versus Spence, I'd want to really take my time, to give you a better analysis of what I believe would be the outcome for those fights. I'm sorry I don't have more of a detailed answer for those particular fights, but I just haven't watched boxing in a while. I watched part of the... what fight was the other night? I watched Corey Sandhagen versus Chito Vera, and then I tuned into a little bit of the Caleb Plant and Joseph Benavidez fight. And that was a good one. I know Benavidez, I think he won by decision. I didn't see the end of it, but yeah, I haven't watched that much boxing. It's been a lot of UFC, a lot of MMA. And then I have a card that I'm working this weekend, actually, where I'm going to be doing commentary. So I've been spending a lot of time just doing my research on the fighters that do fight there. A shout out to RFC Promotions. If you guys do want to watch, it's always and I'm not saying this because I work for them, but it's going to be this Saturday. There's no UFC this Saturday, correct? What's going on in the world of influencer, or not influencer boxing, but just in combat sports? Combat sports this Saturday. Let's see what RFC is competing with. Excuse me. So, okay. So it's the first PFL card that we're going to be competing with. Do you guys watch any PFL? Let me know down in the chat below. We're also it's an amateur, local promotion, but we're on Boxing TV. Pull up the main page for you guys. There's going to be a mixture. There's going to be kickboxing, MMA, and Muay Thai. It's going to be, I'll show you guys the the promotion there. Boom. RFC Cage of Fire. At the Newburgh Armory. You guys can either get tickets. I don't know if any of you are in that area, but yeah. It's always a good time, and I'm going to be on commentary there. I think the Boxing TV has them. Let me see. I think that's who's doing the pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure. We'll be seeing highlights and tuned for updates. Trying to find. I listen because Boxing TV does a lot of these local promotions. But ton of talent fighting that night. Ton of talent. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it is Boxing TV. bxng.tv. Very fun. So I've been working for that, and I've just kind of been doing my homework. And trying to get more, because I have to, the week leading up to these cards is a lot of preparatory stuff. Just analyzing the fighters, talking to them, seeing what they would like me to say, or if they wanted me to include anything on commentary. So I just haven't been able to catch up with boxing in a big way, unfortunately. I like boxing. It's just, at times it can be, why isn't the text not showing up? At times, boxing can kind of... Oh, no, never mind. I had the live feed up. Yes, at times it can be stale. Just in the same way, I'll watch the NBA from time to time. I don't watch baseball. I think part of it is marketing the athletes. And there are guys like Tyson Fury can sell a fight really well. AJ can... I feel like, you pair him with someone good, he'll sell a fight. I'm trying to think of... Deontay Wilder's another character. Davis Garcia... some of it's also because of their fighting ability in the ring. It's a 50-50 split, but when I heard that Jake Paul was going to be, or, the winner of Jake Paul and Tommy Fury is going to be ranked in the WBC, I thought to myself, I was kind of like, that presents its own issues because once Jake Paul gets into the lower rankings of the WBC, then what? That's kind of the problem, is you have to bank on Jake Paul's ability to sell a fight. And the boxers that are at the bottom of the... I mean, there's so many different champions, too. But the boxers that are sitting at the lower ends of the rankings, it's tough. You got to be a super fan. But I'm definitely more of an MMA guy, for sure. You can call me Rich. Awesome. Yes, an MMA question. I love this. Do you think... who do you think... Oh, okay. Who do you think will win... Khamzat Chimaev versus Kobe Covington, Islam Makhachev versus Leon Edwards. You got the, dude. Woo. You got the questions on deck. All right. Khamzat versus Kobe. That's an interesting one. Kobe's just he's an absolute cardio machine. Do I think that his striking is up to par with Khamzat's? I don't know. I thought, the thing is, I thought that Khamzat was mostly, and he is, a lot of his game is predicated around the grappling, but his striking isn't half bad. He was able to stand up with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns has a lot of power. Granted, he did get rocked a few times in that fight, but I don't know, a matchup between Kobe Covington and Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat's also just a big dude. I think I'd have to lean Khamzat in that fight because I think Khamzat would have it on the feet. He could outstrike Kobe in a big way, and I think that the physicality that Chimaev brings into the octagon might be a little bit too much for Covington. But Covington wouldn't be an easy out. I think it would be a similar thing, and it would most likely be a main event. It would be a similar thing to the Gilbert Burns fight where Khamzat just wins by the skin of his teeth, by a split decision. Islam Makhachev versus Leon Edwards. I'd have to go Leon in that one. Just the way he looked with his takedown defense. It's always been good, but that last Usman fight, it's clear that he improved. And so he's going to improve again. With his striking, he's always super duper technical. His Brazilian jiu-jitsu, he was threatening Usman a lot. That second fight, the third fight and the fight before that as well, when he was able to take Usman down in the first round. Yes, because that was the fight at Elevation. And you see how easily he was able to take the back and get that body triangle in there. So I think I'd have to probably go Leon Edwards in that one. Just also because Leon's a natural, he's a big boy. He's a natural welterweight. Not to say that Makhachev isn't a natural welterweight, but he's used to going down, squeezing himself down to lightweight. So it would be an interesting matchup for sure, but I might have to lean Leon Edwards in that one. Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. Damn, man, this is one that I've wanted. I think as we get closer to that fight, the tough finale, I want to do a breakdown video on that. Michael Chandler, when he decides to wrestle, will be such a huge... Because you see, I could call back into memory that Dustin Poirier fight where it was towards the end, and I think it might have been actually the fight ending sequence where Chandler was in, and I think Dustin Poirier had sprawled, and somehow Chandler just, with no leverage, picks him up and is able to dump him on the double. And I don't think that Conor, you look at the past against wrestlers, he's fared well as a Chad Mendez. I'm trying to think in recent memory of heavy wrestling. Khabib. Conor is not necessarily known for his grappling. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. But I think also up top, McGregor could present some serious issues, especially because we know and we've heard that he's been working with Wonderboy Thompson, and B, it seems like he's kind of returned to that wider, karate stance style that we know and love him for. I might have to go Conor McGregor on that one. I think it's going to be a very quick fight. And I think if it gets into the later rounds, Chandler should have a better chance of getting it. But I think Chandler fights that fight where he comes out immediately, first guy to the center of the octagon, and Conor's also a guy that loves to be aggressive in the first. So I'd have to see. I think I could easily see McGregor hitting him with a left and putting Chandler out. Chandler loves to kind of push that pace, get a little bit wild in round number one. But as the fight progresses, one of Chandler's main problems with the guys that he fought is we know Chandler can fight a pretty insane pace throughout the entirety of a 3-round or even a 5-round contest, but he's fought guys like a Dustin Poirier, like Charles Oliveira, that will catch back up to him and kind of melt him in a big way. So I want to see where Conor's gas tank is at. That's a very hard one to call. I might... This is why I like doing long breakdown analysis videos. When I'm on the spot, I'm a little bit hesitant, but without giving it a lot of thought or a ton of thought. It sounds crazy, but I might go Conor. I want to see more Conor footage, though. He looks good from what I've seen. And he's also a beefier guy. Isn't it going to be at welterweight? I think it is going to be at welterweight. So we'll see how his physicality increases, how his speed, if it decreases. There's a lot of variables there. Francis Ngannou versus John Jones. I think John Jones baptizes Francis Ngannou. No disrespect to the former heavyweight champ. I just think that the way that Jones handled Gane, I just don't see that going any differently. Maybe Francis Ngannou catches him, but John, even at the heavyweight level, you see how fast he was moving in him and Gane's fight. I saw him moving that fast, and that's why I was like, okay, yeah, this is not going to be an easy night in the office for Gane. I remember vividly feeling like that. I was like, oh boy, he still has all of that speed. And it's because he took those years to kind of accustom himself to having that heavier frame. And he was just moving like vintage Jones. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'd probably have to go John Jones there. And final, what's UFC Claps? I don't know what UFC Claps is. But those are all my predictions for those. UFC has had a fantastic start to the year, man. Fantastic events. You had your outliers, but for the most part, dude, John Jones coming back, Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje, excuse me. Then, the entirety of 286 was pretty good. I'm trying to think. You had Usman versus Leon 3. That was really good. I like that fight a lot. What are the other events that UFC has had this year? UFC, I'll put the screen up. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is just not really, it's failing me today. Bear with me. Yeah, we had Cheeto versus Sandhagen. That was a really good one. Like watching Holly Holm fight. So 286 happened. Jan versus Divashvili. I mean, main event was it was definitely interesting because I think Divashvili presents a new and interesting style to the sport. So that was cool to see. Of course, John Jones, that was at 285. Alexa Grasso having that super duper cool upset of the champ. Shavkat and the Jeff Neal fight was really fun. Brendan Allen, Augustus Sakai, okay. Andre versus Blanchfield, 284. Islam. Okay, so yeah, we had Islam versus Volk. That was that entire card was an absolute banger. Jack Della Maddalena, Randy Brown, Yair Rodriguez looked really good. Lewis versus Spivak. Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill. That was this year, dude. And then that was last year's. Oh no, this was this year. Because yeah, that's right. Yeah, he headlined last year, the last card of last year, and then he headlined the first card of this year. UFC slaps. Oh, is that like the power slap league? I haven't even watched that, to be honest with you, dude. I think that's one of the most hilarious things. It's like, why would you ever do that? I don't think they even get paid good money. I guess for virality, you know? Like Dana must be a big fan of those Russian slap leagues. You guys ever see those videos? Those were the OG power slap leagues. Excuse me. That was the first power slap. Matter of fact, excuse me. Let's check out some of those Russian slap leagues. Actually, you know what? No, let's watch power slap league footage. Because I've never seen a proper... This is 48 seconds. Do you think I could get taken down for this? Hopefully not. Okay. I'm going to just do this quick. We got to do this quick here. Quick. This is 48 seconds. I hope this doesn't... I really, really hope this doesn't get taken down. But we're watching it in a window, so it should be okay, I think. It's not the entirety of the screen. All right, so this is the top 5 knockouts. And it's people getting... It's actually so hilarious to see people just getting slapped. And they do like the thing... You ever see like a street fight video where a guy's like, what? And he just like hits a guy and the guy's kind of like, oh, and then falls off to the side. Exactly how that looks, but in 4K. Dang. He's running around. We go Scott versus Green. Oh my goodness. At least they have people there to catch them when they fall over. And number 1, bow, he's out. Yeah, they got people there. I mean, that's good. They got people there to catch them so they don't hit their head on the floor. I mean, that's the one kind of redeeming quality about power slap. I'm not the biggest fan. What do you think, Rich? Oh, my God. My arm, dude. I got jacked up in training. Rich, you subscribed? Or did you just happen upon this stream? Let me know. We got a Kingpyn's video coming soon. Did you guys want me to cover anything with that? I got a big, like it should be around 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, a full breakdown of all the brackets and just for that quarterfinal matchup. So that should be a good one. What else can we cover, dude? I'm trying to think. Creator Clash. You guys want to cover the controversy there? I don't want to risk doing a full. So we'll do Creator Clash. And that's how we'll end off the stream with the Creator Clash controversy. Subscribed. Oh, dope, man. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoy my stuff. Okay, so this will be the second Creator Clash. Let me put this up on screen. Okay. So as I understand, someone is getting sued. This guy, Froggy Fresh, is getting sued. So they removed this guy. Creator Clash 2 is given a longer explanation and is now controversial decision to remove rapper and influencer Tyler Froggy Fresh Cassidy from its. I don't know who that is. Cassidy was removed from the event on the evening of Sunday, March 26th. So that was 3 days ago. In an official post. Now a longer, more detailed explanation of his removal has been given. And this is the official. Might have to actually follow them. This is the official Twitter of Creator Clash. As you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh would be leaving the Creator Clash 2 ticket. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision to help clarify some of the online chatter. We have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with Creator Clash this year. The Creator Clash 2 team takes violations very seriously. It's just them saying that, he did some stuff that was reprehensible. When it became clear that the exhibited behavior wasn't stopping at risk to other fighters, fans, and others involved in the event, the Creator 2... Oh my God, I can't talk today. The Creator Clash 2 team made the collective decision to move forward without Froggy Fresh on the ticket. Our number one priority is ensuring Creator Clash 2 is a positive, safe, and welcome space for everyone. What did this guy say? Let's see. I want the full breakdown, but it's hard because I can't get it through a video. All right. This is details. All right, perfect. So this is the guy. Looks like an absolute Giga Chad. I used to have a beard like that. I might want to get my beard. I just shaved also. But when I start to really grow my beard out, as you guys have seen in some of the videos, I'm going to get it up to that point. Just could be living off the land. It's influencer versus influencer in Creator Clash 2. Creator Clash 2. An upcoming charity event in which internet stars face. All right, we know what Creator Clash is. I hate when also articles do this where it's like they'll give you want a clear-cut answer to your question, and you're like, okay, so how many, I don't know, stores does Ford Motors have in the entirety of the United States? And they're like, well, we need to start out naturally with the history of Ford Motors. Like, that's not what I asked. Just give me the actual reason. Okay. Tyler Stephen Cassidy, known better by his YouTube name as Froggy Fresh, is a musician and comedian. Okay. He's worked with College Humor before. That's interesting. As of this writing, he currently has over 800,000 subscribers on the channel and millions of views across his videos. In recent years, he's operated as a regular musician. Okay. He's since been removed from the lineup in an official tweet from the Creator Clash team. They confirmed tweets. I know this. I just read this. So I don't understand what the problem is. Why is there a controversy here? Froggy Fresh himself has tweeted out to Creator Clash implying that he's received little correspondence from the organization and that the team at Creator Clash has been suspiciously tight-lipped about the specific violations. And this is his. Are you talking about when Ian called me the third time ever, 15 minutes after Sam Hyde retweeted me to investigate my friendship with Sam Hyde and then asking that I don't release any content with Sam Hyde until after the event? So was he supposed to be fighting Sam Hyde? In attempting to find a reason for his removal, Froggy Fresh posited that it had to do with his friendship with Sam Hyde, a comedian who touts alt-right rhetoric in his comedy. Oh, Sam Hyde. That's where that name sounds familiar. That's where that name's from. He was supposedly asked by iDubbbz not to release any content featuring Sam, but despite having not done so, he was still removed from the event. Now I've been threatened with a potential lawsuit if I spoke about this entire mess. That's interesting. Of course, there's always going to be a political spin on things because something as simple as a Creator Clash tournament has to be. I'm really disappointed by this. He tweeted and came out for Twitter controversy after months of training is brutal. I don't think any jokes he made were intended to be mean-spirited or shit to anyone. Hopefully they reconsider this decision. But who was he supposed to... Okay, hold on. Froggy Fresh Creator Clash opponent. Who was his original opponent? Chris Maldonado. Raygun. Again, Chris Maldonado sounds familiar, but that has unfortunately been canceled. Here's the full docket. Alex Burris, Ian Hum, not sure. Harley's fighting on their Epic Mealtime. Jack Manifold, I've heard of that name before. Sheree, Julie Ray. Jarvis is fighting there. Okay, interesting. So it seems like that's kind of the main controversy behind all of this, is that he was not given a real solid concrete reason as to why he was released, which I think he's owed. But I could also see it from, of course, Creator Clash's side of things, where it's like you don't want a guy that's going to be bringing all the the political side of things so heavily to your event. So I can understand it from both sides. I guess this is a kind of a developing thing. Hope they reconsider. Wasabi's fighting iDubbbz. Very interesting. I'll have to make a video on that. I'm really disappointed by this. Kicking them from Twitter. Controversy after months. Controversy after months of training. I don't think he joked. So this is Moist Critical. This guy? Froggy Fresh? Oh my God, dude. That just unlocked a core memory. All right, so this is... On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anyone could have imagined, I would be so disappointed in myself that I would subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans. I think Anissa is iDubbbz's wife, correct? I'm doing some real sleuthing right now. Anissa, I think... This is, yeah, so she's the iDubbbz, who is, she's the girlfriend. And I think they're the promoters for this event. So I think that's it must have something to do with that as well. I suspect, at least. Kicking him off for silly Twitter controversy is ridiculous. About 100K to charities on the line if Froggy isn't on the lineup. I've been helping him train too, and it would be a shame to see all that go to waste if he's kicked out. Reinstate Froggy. Is it nobody, little bro, nobody cares. Love watching his videos when I was younger. Looking forward to watching him in the ring. Shameful. Interesting stuff. So it could be a combination of things. I don't think realistically we're going to see what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, sorry about that. Realistically, I don't think we're going to see what's going on behind the scenes to a super duper clear extent. But it just seems like he pissed off the wrong people. It is kind of breaking kayfabe to talk about the promoter's wife, talking about subscribing to her OnlyFans, and then, I guess being friends with Sam Hyde is, I mean, I don't know, dude. Creator Clash to me is not an event that I really watch, because they kind of fall more so when you talk about influencer boxing. They're more on the influencer side of things, where it's a little bit more of a spectacle. And as a purist of the sport, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy when it's competent, where there's a product that's actually solid. But Creator Clash, I mean, it's doing its thing. I think it's one of those promotions where it's good because there's a lot of fans that necessarily wouldn't tune into even Misfits, right? Like, they're not big boxing fans, but they'll tune in because they want to see their favorite creators go head to head. So, but besides that, I think it's I'm not the biggest fan of Creator Clash, but I'm glad that it's there. I don't have any hate towards it. I just don't. It's not something that ever caught my interest in a big way. With that, is there anything else that you guys wanted me to? If not, I'm going to hop off here. I got some other stuff I got to get done with today. Is there anything else you guys wanted me to discuss? I'll let it breathe for a few seconds. I got to go rest my arm because my shoulder feels like it's about to pop out of its socket. Not a fun feeling. This side right here, try to lift someone up on a takedown. Hasn't been the same since. Not fun. I don't think there's anything else. Rich, thanks so much for hanging around. Thank you guys all so much for being in this live and for tuning into my stuff. Of course, we do have a merch page up now. I don't make any proceeds off of it, but I just make the stuff. Well, I make everything on there, but I do it for the love of graphic design. I also have a really big passion for that. So go check it out. I think it's in, I'm pretty sure it's in yeah, it is. So if you go to the merch, if you go right now down to the link in the description of this live, you'll be able to find the merch. And yeah, go give it a look, Rich, if you want to, support an up-and-coming channel. If you see something that you like, I'm going to always add to it with new designs too, so it's going to be it should be a fun little work in progress type of project. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much. I will see you next Wednesday. Hopefully there's a little bit more to talk about. I know this stream was kind of a little bit light on the news, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can't always have the perfect stream going. Regardless, I'll see you guys. We got a video coming out tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. Deuces.